Hey everybody, so before we get started in this video, this is actually kind of the end of the video. This is a few days after everything that I've already recorded, but I just wanted to explain my little clickbait thumbnail real quick instead of having you guys wait 20 minutes till the end. Basically, at the end of this video, you'll see me talking about it's Sunday, I'm working on the roof all by myself, and it's starting to snow. And I need to get off the roof because it's just not safe. It started to snow that day, and they were these little like rock hard pellets that were hitting things, and then it ended up for some reason melting on the ground, and then later that night forming like a sheet of ice. And in fact, at the ED, they told me they had multiple people coming in for slip and falls, breaking hips, and people getting in car accidents and stuff like that. So whatever happened, all that little snow melted, and it was causing havoc, wreaking havoc for everybody. But that night, I stepped out of the RV. Erin had just gone to bed, so I scared the crap out of her. I put one step on the RV step, and from that height, my leg went out and I fell towards my left, and because the second step is off of the ground like by a foot or so, my left hand there was nothing to brace. So I went from one step down to the second step, and the only thing that broke my fall was like right here in my rib cage. I don't think anything's broken, but obviously it hurts a little to take a full breath. I can't do like major sit-ups or anything because as it's compressing, it hurts like crazy. This hand, my right hand, also went back and whacked another step or something really hard because I couldn't use it for like 2 hours. My palm in here is pretty swollen and puffy, and there's actually some little bruising right there, or like a scratch or something from whatever it hit, but luckily it's back to movement now. My left leg also shot out from the side, and because it was so abrupt and fast, I think I pulled one of the tendons like on my inner quad going up to my groin and up to my pelvic area, so it hurts pretty good. So I just wanted to explain that real quick and tell you I'm ending this video at the end of this video where it's ending, because I don't know how long it's going to take. I'm definitely not going to be putting no 55-pound roof sheathing above my head anytime soon. And just wanted again to explain that. It's kind of clickbaity, but I just wanted to tell you now instead of wait until the end. So that's what's going on, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Please like, subscribe, and we will see you all later. Hey everybody, welcome back to our neck of the woods. Today, we finally start getting a roof on. All right, so maybe not a whole roof or even kind of a part of a roof. I had to work last night, and I pretty much needed to sleep in until about noon. Got the lift delivered again, and we got only 8 panels on. The reason why we only got 8 panels on is because I was trying to move closer to the house, and we ended up getting the lift stuck. And this is the second time I've had one of these type of lifts get stuck. It got up to about 40-something degrees today, and the nasty clay is just nasty, especially where it is around the house. The tires sunk. We had to call the rental place, bring an excavator out, because I tried my truck, I tried my tractor, and absolutely nothing could get it unstuck. The wheels just kept bearing and falling like this further and further to the house, because obviously about 2 feet in from the house, that's all fresh compacted clay that I put in there with the tractor when we were backfilling on top of the stone. So of course it was going to sink, as opposed to the ground out here that's pretty much virgin. So there was nothing that we could really do. Then we spent a little bit of time kind of squaring everything up. Right now we've got the tractor kind of sitting out here with a chain on it. This gable end just needed a little bit of straightening up. So that chain is going all the way up to the peak there, looped in around the inside. Then I've got it attached to the bottom of the tractor here, and then the parking brake is set. So that gable end is now straight. When we start putting up the panels on the inside, that's obviously going to help brace it. And then I've got a 2x4 brace that's in there now that we originally put up, but it's only 8 foot tall. So we grabbed another 2x6 14 foot long that we're using for these fascia boards, and that's on there now, so that should really lock that in and help keep it secure, that it's not going to go anywhere. But we should be good to go tomorrow to start either knocking out as many panels as we can, or I told the guys I would really like to get the garage finished and get it all weatherproofed in. Today, again, we were lucky enough to hit 40 degrees or so, that all the snow's been melting. So hopefully, if that's not all gone by tomorrow, tomorrow morning, I'll get up there with a shovel and kind of pull that snow off. And then we can go ahead and finish off the under laminate all on the roof. That way we can officially call the garage kind of waterproofed and weatherproofed in, and then we'll be good to go. Another thing we knocked out real quick, I got these 6x6s in place. We did not use the lift. One of the guys is a little taller than me. He's got to be at least 6'2", 6'3", and he was able to be behind me in front of him, and we just picked it up and dropped it down into the hole here, which I thought was going to be a little bit more difficult because I only left us enough room for a little hole here to drop these down in. But when we get these stood up and get them plumb, then we'll know where to go for the diamond pier and put it there. This is a little close though to this corner and to this diamond pier over here, and diamond pier does say that you should have a certain distance away from another pier. If you don't, you need to calculate a percentage off on if you're within that distance. So for example, if that diamond pier can hold up 4,300 pounds and you're within a certain distance of another diamond pier, you need to subtract a little bit from that 4,300 pounds, and then will it still be able to hold the load? Engineer said yes, but we could help it out a little bit by leaving this brace or this 6x6 more here instead of in the corner. And again, those LVLs then will just kind of cantilever over and hold up the very first gable end truss. So either way, engineer says it was fine, whether we're directly in the corner or cantilevered over, should be fine. Now, I did call the county and I kind of canceled the inspector coming out, and the reason why that is I still had a few more of the diamond piers to put in. There's 2 more blocking that need to go in, and frankly I needed to get his final stamped and approval letter because I haven't gotten that yet. And then that dawned on me that if the county comes out here and sees diamond piers and they don't see, you know, poured concrete, they're going to be like, hey, I need verification on this. We can't just go off of a brochure that says that pier can hold up 3,300 pounds. I need, you know, something more legit in writing. So Alan, the engineer, is finishing everything up, and he will send that over to me. And I'm actually going to link his information below. I know a lot of you guys have been requesting, you know, who's my engineer, who helped us with this, it's an ICF house, etc., etc. So I would like to go ahead again and thank Alan, again, posting his information below or right here on the screen so you guys can see him. And if you guys have any questions about engineering stuff or needing stuff, you can go ahead and email him or give him a call. Now, it may be a little bit different where you live. It may not be 100% code everywhere that what you need done is based on what we need in Ohio. But since he is a structural engineer, he does follow the IRC. If something is a little bit different where you live, he can obviously contact the county, or you can contact the county when you try to turn something in, and they can be like, yes, that's what the IRC says, but you need to go ahead and fix this. And then Alan can just change it on the blueprints to reflect what the county actually needs for where you live. But again, I'd like to thank him for all the time that he's put into helping me do this. All the emails, phone calls, and getting me the certified, stamped, approved porch and deck and stuff like that. So I'd like to toss that on to you guys so that if you guys have questions, again, need something, you've got someone that you can call to, and he's great at what he does. All right, I'm gonna head in now. It's freezing, it's windy, and we're gonna get some sleep tonight, and we will see you guys bright and early to start finishing this out. All right, welcome back. I am not sure how much got filmed today. Had to replace the batteries a few times sitting out here in the yard, so hopefully there's a little footage for you guys. But we got an additional 19 panels on, some little slivers where the scissor trusses stop and the common trusses start back up again. That throws it off a little bit in there. So you got some panels that are only like 3 trusses long, which isn't exactly 4 feet, but that's just kind of how it fell. The one over here, I stopped with only getting the first one on because there's no ladder there yet. So that board obviously is dipping way down, and I didn't want to continue overhanging those boards and then having to build the ladder, because I'll be having to push up as I'm nailing and fighting that plywood. So again, when that snow melts, I'll have to get up there and then finish off that ladder real quick on this side, and then we can go ahead and nail that plywood down. But as you can see, it's got kind of a nice double overhang, so get to keep a little bit off of the house going this way, and we get to keep a little bit off of the house going that way from that little front overhang. Just something giving it a little look, as opposed to just stopping them both, you know, dead flat where the garage ends and the house starts. We also got several of the peaks on, and I believe there's 10 total up there so far. So we've got 10 peaks, and up there we're almost at the peak. We've got a board and a half. That's the last full size, and then there's usually about an 11 to a 12-inch sliver that needs to go up to finish the peak. So from right there, it's not 100% done, going all the way up almost 25 feet. You still have that little remainder 11 inches to a foot left to go. But then we're going to keep on trekking over this way, and the snow did not melt on the garage, and I thought it was easier or better today just to get the sheathing up than have to scrape all that ice and snow off, because today it remained in the 30s. So much better when it's colder. They may not like it, no one else may like it, but the ground stays frozen. There's still ice on there. That thing weighs 16,000 pounds. I looked it up yesterday. That's why when it got stuck, my truck couldn't pull it, the tractor couldn't pull it. So that's no joke to be a little over 16,000 pounds. And again, when the ground's frozen like this, you can see it's not sinking. Yesterday, it was just an absolute swampy, soupy mess, and tires couldn't get traction. I couldn't even pull up behind where the tractor is over there, and that walnut, there's an incline of maybe like 1 degree that couldn't even drive up there. It took me several times sliding back and forth. So until we hit spring, I would rather have everything stay frozen, and you can actually get more accomplished with a harder ground. So that's gonna wrap up today here. I don't know if they're coming back out tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. I may be able to get the under laminate on the garage. That probably will be the game plan, if we can quickly knock that out and then focus more on sheathing later. We do only have maybe 15-20 sheets left. That should probably finish this side of the house, and then I'll have to go and add up how many we put on here and obviously double that on the back, and I'll have to go buy more. But so far material's holding in there, we're doing good. And again, we'll probably see you guys tomorrow and do some underlaminate. Hey everybody, so it's Sunday, I'm on my own. Like I said, I've got about 15 panels left, so we're gonna head up here on my own, see how much damage I can do today. I would like to try and start getting the ladders done, although I don't really have a rope set up, although I can use the lift to kind of block me from falling off this way. Not to mention you can still see some snow up there. But I don't think I'm gonna go too crazy today, especially because as you look up there, we don't have all of the green zip panels all the way up to the top. So I can't go all the way up there and on the backside and do a complete ladder system yet because I don't have anything to attach to. I still have to get a few of those panels up there and attach it to the end truss going this way on the house. So I may be only able to get halfway up there or try for one of the panels on my own. But like I said, I think I'm just gonna see what I can personally do and knock out a few more boards here, because let's face it, each one of these boards installed is $30 a piece. So at 15 panels, that's a lot of money saved doing it myself as opposed to paying someone else. So I'm just gonna set up the time lapse real quick, see what I can measure out and do, and then we'll go from there. All right, so we got some snow setting in, and right now it's only like 20 degrees. So it's these freezing little round pellets kinda. Don't really feel comfortable being up there on the roof by myself, even though I try to get the lift underneath me in case I slip and fall. I fall down onto the lift basket. But I think today, some stuff that I can knock out is there's a few things in the garage that we have to complete. First thing being is we still have no blocking up in between the top plates and the trusses. So we're gonna need 30 pieces, I think, of blocking that needs to go up there and installed, and that will complete that. And then there's a few more things that we have to do that I talked about in another video. For example, right here, we need an additional king stud on this side and the far end of the other garage. So shouldn't be too difficult. We just have to notch out 1.5 inches here out of this lumber and slide a 2x8 in there and nail it all the way down going this way into the king stud that's already there. And that will complete kind of reinforcement there that the engineer wanted. And then I don't want to mess with the ice guard. That stuff being so thick and kind of like tar paper, I'm afraid even if there was no snow right now and if there's no snow tomorrow, if it's still 20 degrees out, I don't want to set that stuff and unroll it because I'm afraid it might kind of crack and stuff because it's just too darn cold to be unrolling it and stuff. And obviously it's been sitting in a roll for who knows how many months, and it may be brittle. So if I do that, I'm afraid I'm just gonna crack it and hurt the integrity of it. Not gonna do that. Oh, and there's one other thing that I've been forgetting and I've been neglecting to do because I hate it, is I forgot that the engineer wants these gussets up here. So hopefully you can see these up here, it's kind of dark. But these gussets on these end trusses need to go every 16 inches all the way down, because right now this garage end truss is actually only being held up by the sheathing and now the roof sheathing. So there's nothing actually physically holding that truss down to that double top plate. It's just sitting there. And in fact, same thing goes with the trusses, the end trusses on the far wall and this side of the house. They're just sitting there. The bottoms of them are actually, you know, kind of shaky like this, because the sheathing on the outside house over there doesn't go up like this and overlap that top plate. The one over there is just sitting directly on the top plate, and the sheathing stops at the top plate. So there's nothing connecting the ICF wall to that. So that end truss on the far south wall is actually not good, that the bottom of it can actually sit there and bow and weigh. So every 16 inches on center, I got to put one of those gussets to actually lock it down. And then it's a little bit safer on this side of the house because you've got the garage there. But again, they still need gusseted every 16 inches so that it's locked down on top. So for the rest of the day, I'm probably going to be knocking out those. Still need a couple screws on this common truss here, where the bottom of that truss is not technically secured to the ICF wall. Doesn't need to be, because a common truss can span that gap and it doesn't have to sit on anything or be secure, but just for flex and movement, I'd like to throw some screws up there and bolt that common directly into the ICF wall. And again, the blocking and 2 more king studs and 1 more piece of blocking up there, and then I should be done in the garage. All right, hopefully you guys can see me. As this day is starting to wrap up to an end here, I went back up in the loft here in the garage and finished out all of these boards along the side on both sides. I still don't have double ply up here yet. Hopefully you can see it's just kind of zigzag throughout there. We'll still need a couple bad boards that didn't get completely flat, that are bent, and they're pretty much junk for the roof. We'll go ahead and throw them down in here to overlap these gaps. But 2 things that I'm kind of proud about, that it feels so much better up here, is I got some braces in right here going all the way across all of these common trusses, so they're more locked in on the bottom. And then there's a 2x6 bolted against the wall, and they're screwed together. And then same on that side and same in the middle. And then on this side, I decided to make just 3 little like cripple studs, which they are kind of at an angle so we can get some insulation under there, but they're bolted at the top of this 2x10, angling down towards the 2x common against the wall. And we went ahead and put 3 of those in. So now no matter what I do, if I try to move side to side, this whole platform can't move. And then obviously the top is all locked in now with all of the sheathing on the trusses. So we still have to get the zip tape up here and finish off all these cracks here so that the garage is officially separated from the house. And there's 1 more or 2 more panels that need to go up there that I'm gonna need the guys' help for to pull those up. And then we should be good here in the garage. We've got all of the gussets now, 16 inches on center, going down, locking that end truss to the top sill plate. So now that's a little bit more secure and reinforced, that basically if a tornado were to come, it's supposed to help against that, but that gives it one way to lock it down. So that's looking to be about it for the day. But man, is it cool to stand in here now and see how high the ceilings are. It's kind of hard to get like a depth perception with the trusses up there, but now that you got the sheathing up there, I'm standing in what will be basically the front foyer kind of living room, almost dead center in the house. And you can see that these scissor trusses now, how high they are versus what the rest of the ceiling is going to be. So that is like just crazy tall ceilings in here. And then even as I stand here, Even on the, this would be kind of like the laundry room, mudroom area, even these being almost 11 feet high. For where those ceilings are going to be. It's just crazy to see how tall everything's going to be in here. But those guys hopefully will be coming out here tomorrow morning on Monday, and we can start knocking some more sheathing out. I feel a little bit more comfortable with some of these out there, even though there's a little bit of snow up there right now. We can brush it off of the trusses, and now that we're pretty much all the way up at the peak here on this side, you got a lot more to stand on and grab onto, so I feel a little bit more comfortable again with finishing out this side at least. Back here, I don't know how we're gonna get started or finish it out. There's probably enough room right about in here to get the lift in, but down here there's just not enough room to get the lift in. So if we can get it at least to about right there, we can obviously stretch and get over there and start getting this side, especially because I've got to get the fascia boards on before we start really putting the sheathing on, because putting the fascia board on first gives you a nice measurement out to where the sheathing needs to come down to, so you know how much overlap you have. So that's gonna take a while for me to get all of those knocked out for that entire distance. But yeah, I think we're gonna be ready and good for tomorrow and to start getting this knocked out, finished on this side. Unfortunately, I think we're still looking at 20 degrees for quite a few more days. So I think the under laminate is gonna have to hold off again. I don't wanna stretch it and pull it and end up kind of cracking it, and then I'm obviously forming a leak. So I don't know when we'll be able to get that on until we hit a warm day. Again, maybe in January or February, we'll see. But hopefully sooner than that. But we'll get back at it tomorrow morning, and then I will see you guys then.